Hi, my name's Alan Bush. I'm the director of YWAM St Augustine. I'd like to share with you a picture the Lord gave me for St Augustine and the vision YWAM St Augustine has. Just before we moved here, my wife and I would pray and ask the Lord for prayer points each day to share with the team. This particular morning, the Lord gave me a picture of a map of St Augustine with arrows all over it. There was a blue arrow coming from the north into St Augustine. There were white arrows from the east, west and south coming into St Augustine. And there were red arrows in prongs of 3 darted around St Augustine. I asked the Lord, what do the arrows mean? And he said, the blue arrow is your team coming from the north. The white arrows are my angel armies preparing for battle. And the red arrows are the churches and the people and all I've given them being protected by them. I got really excited and I closed my eyes to see this map again, but it was gone, and what I saw instead was the Lord sat on his throne, and in his right hand was a goblet. I peered inside the goblet to see what was in there, and it was liquid flames bouncing around. This really excited me and took me to the day of Pentecost and Acts 2. So I pulled out my Bible and started reading. And I got to the part where it said, it was as though tongues of fire came down and split and rested on the people's heads, and they started speaking in tongues. And the Lord said, keep reading, Alan. And the rest of it is that the disciples went into the marketplace and were speaking in tongues, and the people thought they were drunk. Peter got up and said, people, we're not drunk. And then he shared the message of the gospel. And by the end of the day, 3,000 people were added to their number. I got really excited about this, and the Lord started speaking to me about this is going to happen in St Augustine. Then he said to me, read Romans 12 verses 1 and 2. This is about not being conformed to the pattern of this world, but being transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then he said, Alan, read Ephesians 6 verses 10 through 18. And that's about putting on the armor of God. And God started speaking to me how this was important because he was going to bring revival to the city of St Augustine. I was getting really excited. I shared this with my wife and we started to have vision for St Augustine. And our vision for St Augustine is we're to be a people who are willing and ready to be able to do and be anything to advance the kingdom of God throughout our city and nations. We're a small training centre with a heart to disciple people of all ages and train leaders. Our main 2 schools are a discipleship training school and a basic leadership school. Each school's lecture phase is 3 months, followed by 8 to 10 weeks on overseas missions. We're also able to host and train church outreach teams. As YWAM, we're called to partner with churches and ministries to share the gospel of Jesus with people of St Augustine, to share God's love, and also to help them into a deeper relationship with Christ. We want to revive, restore, and reconcile all people back to the heart of God.